part one of my favorite mobility. Starts with T-spine. So there are 2 exercises for that. Exercise 1 is a child's pose twist. So starting in child's pose. So I start here, sitting back, arm stays out, other arm is going to lift up to your face, twisting up. So do 6 per side. Exercise 2 is a hip stack twist. So 90 degrees, 90 degrees, hip stacked, shoulders stacked to start. And then you're tracing the line, keeping your shoulders stacked, reaching back and forward. And that's 1. We're aiming for 6. Remember, the goal is not to go fast here. Keeping your hips stacked. Keep an eye on your knees. If you notice your knees starting to shift back here, this isn't good. You want to pull your knee forward. It's going to make sure that your hips stay stacked. That's the end of our T-spine segment. The next section is on adductors. So that's going to be a froggy. So you're going to set your feet a little bit apart, turn your toes out, come down. You're going to sit down as far as you can. Now for you, that might be more like here. You may be super adductor flexible. You can widen your feet out a little bit more, but they should be roughly a little wider than shoulder width. Elbows are going to go into your knees, and you're going to use those to press out a little bit. So I don't want you jamming your elbows really, really far out, but enough to give yourself a little bit of extra stretch. And you can lean into the stretch on either side, going from side to side like this. This will also give you a little bit of ankle. Just working your ankle mobility a little bit. You can kind of do your rotations right on the ankle, giving you some motion there. We're aiming for 30 seconds here. Exercise 3 is a downward dog pedal. So you're going to go into your downward dog, remembering it's more of a V. So wherever you can breathe. If you're up here and you're having trouble breathing, not so good. You should be back here where you can breathe a little bit. Then you're just going to pedal 30 seconds. It does not have to be fast. We're looking for calf and ankle mobility here. About to get some help. Hey, no boots. Next up on our calf and ankle mobility is what's called knee pushes. So this is actually one of my favorite drills. They're pretty simple, but they're a really good mobility drill for this kind of calf ankle area. So what we're going to do is give yourself a hand. Should be about that far, one hand sideways from your target. For me, I usually use a foam roller because I have it out anyway for this sequence. So you are 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Your foot at the back can be up for balance or down, depending on what's most comfortable for you. You can also put something soft under this knee if you have trouble with it. So then you're going to aim 5 knee pushes toward your target, straight. 5 knee pushes to the left side, 5 to the right, you're going to switch. You'll do 5 more straight. 5 more to the left. 5 more to the right. Always coming back to your 90, so you get the full benefit of this motion. So don't get stuck kind of bouncing in this position. Come right back out of it, all the way back in. Next up is the lat slide. This is part of our lat sequence. So you're going to press your back up firmly against the wall, 2 hands at 90 degrees, reaching up. Keeping your hands, elbows, and shoulder blades, as well as your lower back, against the wall. Slowly. You may only be able to reach so high before you get to a point where you're asking too much of your body right now. So just listen to your body and do what it says. If here is far enough, that's good. If you can go all the way up, that's great. But even I am pulling my elbows out from the wall at this stage, so try not to do too much. You're going to do 10 of those. Next up in the lat set is sit, reach, and roll, another favorite. So same for this one, it's sort of similar to coming back to child's pose. So you're going to sit 90 degrees here on your roller, sitting back in a child's pose, arms are outstretched, making sure you are completely straight, rolling forward. Hence the sit, reach, and roll. You're going to do 10 of these. Should feel this all through this section. If you feel like you're coming up off of your heels, you're going a little too far. Just try and keep your gravity backward so that you're able to get the stretch and the mobility without engaging the wrong sectors. So you're going to do 10 of those, and that finishes off the lat series. Next up is scorpion. Scorpion's really fun. So hopefully you enjoy it as much as I do. I'll bring you down to my level. So you're gonna lay flat on your stomach, make a bed for your hands, or your head, sorry, and you're just gonna reach back. 10 touches, if you can touch. Try to give you a different view. Finally, we have a couple of easy foot stretches. So again, kneeling. Reminder that you can always use your yoga mat for your knees if they're getting a little sore on the harder ground. So first off is just a forefoot stretch. So, toe ball stretch. So your toes are tucked up underneath you, and you're just sitting back on your heels with your toes bent. This helps to stretch out the toe ball area. You can increase the stretch by letting your knees slide forward a little bit. Expanding the stretch here and all around the toe ball area. Careful not to overstretch. You can also wiggle around a little bit. That's that one. This is a forefoot stretch. So similarly, kneeling, feet are flat forward. The more you sit back, the more you'll feel this one. And finally, the metatarsal wiggle. I will spare you from looking at my toes, but essentially the metatarsal wiggle is starting with your big toe. You lift, and then lift the next toe, and lift the next set. Give them all a wiggle, and then you're going to manually wiggle. So you can start with the big toe and just work your way down. So give it a full wave. You're going to feel some popping. Similarly, each toe individually, give it a wiggle. I like to go all the way from the toe bone, so the main bone, all the way down. And I go, pop. Remember not to be too forceful, but do get the wiggle on. I go all the way down one side, all the way down the other foot. I have a weirdly stiff pinky toe. All the way back. If your toes are needing some extra love, you can always do that one a second time. And that's it.